Our next presentation focuses on our very successful R&D services within University Hospital Southampton. The Trust already has, as you probably heard, a very successful and well-established R&D department with certainly currently well over 300 active trials and a string of awards to its name. It has excellent experience of working with industry on commercial trials, and no doubt you'll learn a little more about these in just a moment. I'd therefore like to welcome our next speaker, Christine McGrath, who is the Director of Research for the Trust. She's joined, it's a double act, with Brandy Coote, who is the Commercial Research Manager for Research and Development as well. So it's very much a double act today.
Right, thank you very much, Mel. I am actually going to hand over to Brandy very quickly. I'm here to do a bit of a preamble, and then I'll pass to Brandy, who will talk to you about a bit more detail. Thank you for that nice introduction. We have been very successful as an organisation in doing research, and hopefully you will have got that message through today for research and innovation. You will have heard how big the hospital is and how many patients visit us every day, and what our motivation is very much, you will have heard the patients. In terms of the research that we do, it's absolutely about giving the opportunity to our patients to get the best possible clinical care that they can get, and if we can offer the opportunity to participate in a research study or an innovation engagement with one of our partners, then we will want to do that. And if you've got something out there that you think can benefit our patients, we absolutely want to talk to you. Brandy is going to talk to you a little bit about the pure commercial research that we do, collaborative and contract commercial research. But I wanted to bring to your attention really that in how big our organisation is, we've got 9,000 staff. What hasn't been mentioned is actually how big our main partner is. So we also partner with the University of Southampton, as you've heard, and they probably have, I don't know, I think it's about 4,000 staff. So in terms of Wotton Bassett, actually I think it's probably quite a lot bigger than that, and we've got lots of expertise in the university, and if you talk to us, we can find that expertise for you as well. We are the 6th highest recruiting trust in the country, and we do have a particular expertise in experimental research. So that means taking things from bench to bedside, and particularly you've got a new idea, we want to get it into our patients. And Chris has obviously run through some of our facilities, and Brandy will talk to you about how we actually do the research with our nursing staff. I'm going to hand over to Brandy. Hopefully we've got you interested. Brandy's going to talk about how you actually get through the door now, really. You can obviously talk to a commercial department. Talk to Mel, he'll absolutely point you in the right direction, and certainly talk to Brandy if you have a research project that you're burning to do, because we can get it up and running quite quickly. I think with that I'll pass to you, Brandy.
Great, thank you. Well, first of all, welcome, and thank you for that, Christine. As the Commercial Research Manager for the Trust, I desperately hope that every single one of you sitting in the audience today, whether you intended to have this thought or not, are thinking, I've got an idea, I've got a device, or I've got a way of doing things that actually I might be able to do something different with, or bring into a commercial setting. And that's very much what I'm here to facilitate for you, and to help to work with you and my team to bring you into the trust environment, give you access to these wonderful clinicians and academics that we work with and that Chris has talked to earlier today, so we can develop your idea and bring it into the healthcare environment for the benefit of our patients and for you, for ultimately all of us. Within my department and my team, we can help you to facilitate your all aspects of study and trial delivery and design. So that starts from, I've started at the top with contracts, really. It starts with those initial discussions. It starts with you calling me or sending me an email. We would get together, discuss your idea, what sort of plan you have, what your timelines might be, or where you think your idea is going. I bring you into the trust and we talk to our clinicians, we talk to the academic partners that we have. I'm going to break with tradition and go really quickly up to this slide. This just gives you some of an example, along with the NIHR Wellcome Trust Clinical Research Facility, the university, the faculties that we have here. We have research centers around that are underpinned by the University of Southampton Health and Pharma University Industry Sector team. I know we've got some representatives from them today. I know that Carl and his team do a lot of work in the local area. Where is Carl? He was here earlier. There we go. Hi, Carl. Carl does a lot of work with his team with SMEs, and hopefully has interacted with many of you already, and if not, will soon. How he works within industry is to develop the ideas on the academic side and bring them into clinic, just like I would deal with the clinic side and the interaction then backwards. So we very much work as part of a larger group. Carl and I have both existed within the university and within the trust, so we've kind of got what's the word? A captive audience, I suppose. So that's really how, from that initial stage, how we can support you in pulling together the right idea for your project. Going back to my initial slide, you and I will then work to develop mainly, we'll start with your referrals to clinicians and nursing teams. We'll look at costing your study. We'll look at what you can afford on what from a design perspective, what are the numbers of people that you need to have involved? How many patients do you need to have involved? And over what sort of time period? We'll look to cost a study that is feasible for you, whether that be on a very small scale or on a very large scale. We have examples of all sorts of studies go on within the trust, whether it be a device trial. We've talked about a lot of them today, whether it be a drug trial or even just a healthcare new way of doing things. My team then takes hold and really helps to move you through the regulatory approval processes. Research ethics committees, which are as much a mystery to me, I'm sure, as they are to many of you. That's why we've got a great team in place that can help to facilitate that process for you. They're absolute wizards when it comes to regional ethics committees. The MHRA applications as well. And they'll help you to facilitate your local R&D approvals. It can be a bit of a maze if it's not something that you're used to doing, or if it's not something that you've ever done before. Hopefully, once we've got you through that stage once, it makes it a heck of a lot easier to do it again and again. And that's really the kind of interaction that we're looking to build with our SME partners. We want you in on that initial, on one initial project, but actually, we may be able to work with you again immediately or in future to develop a longer project of work encompassing different areas. And that's the kind of relationship that I'm hoping to build with all of you today and in the future. How do we underpin this? A lot has been talked about today. In fact, I need to bring all of you along every time I do a presentation because it makes it a heck of a lot easier. From my team's perspective, we've really focused recently on centralizing our feasibility team. So that means that we've got a team in-house that can take care of all those aspects that I was talking to on the earlier slide. Our research governance team is a brilliant team that sets studies up quickly and efficiently. Last quarter, our approval time was 13 calendar days, with 92% of our studies approved in under 30 days. From a metrics perspective, 30 days is where we work to. Sometimes things get busy, in fact, we're often very busy, if I'm honest, but we're still working. In fact, last quarter, we had one of our highest months that we've had yet. So it means that we're still setting up, our approval times are still working to 13 days, which is really well under half of what you'll see as a regional average. We also work collaboratively with our clinical contacts. In our study delivery group. One example of that is in oncology, where we meet monthly. We discuss not only our trials that we have in setup, so we review protocols. So once you've put together a protocol and submitted it to, for example, a clinician, he or she then take that protocol through to the study delivery group in oncology, where it's really, for lack of a better word, put to the dogs. It's pulled apart, it's interrogated to mean, which is a benefit for you because it means that the strongest protocol survives. So they work together collaboratively to make sure that the protocol that you've written or that you've worked on collaboratively with one academic really has the input of the whole team and the benefit of the experience of the whole team. The other areas that we look at in those study delivery groups are just common blockages, certain things that might be happening on a local level or local scale that we can then address so that they don't happen again in future. So it's one way that we really work together to make sure that those metrics and those numbers keep getting better. As I've mentioned before, and as other people have here too today, we have the obvious access to clinical and academic expertise. We also have a centrally managed team of over 185 specialist research nurses. I'm just going to move ahead one slide quickly. We have generalists that work along specialist teams. Now, where that is helpful and beneficial for us is that we have specialist teams that work in, for example, cancer care in the clinical research facility, and are also in those areas noted below. We have generalists working beside them. Now, the benefit of that is not only access to a multidisciplinary approach to clinical nursing, but also our generalists are learning from different teams. They're spreading knowledge, and we encourage, and they actively are involved in knowledge sharing activities, so that the generalists that work within teams that, say, are normally devoted to nutrition or cancer are also talking regularly with our rheumatology nurses or our ophthalmology nurses. And it helps to, again, develop those best practices and ways of doing things. I already talked about that. This is the divisions I was talking about earlier. I find it confusing because it's not obvious, but don't worry, I keep a copy of this on hand at all times, and so I can share it with all of you. This is my team. I'm, of course, as I mentioned before, the commercial research manager. I'm your initial point of contact. I'm Canadian, so I'm very nice and easily approachable. I can help you. I can be your commercial liaison. I'll speak with, as I mentioned, the clinical teams, the academic teams, to make sure that you have the right people that can help you to design and deliver the study that you may be needing to increase or to develop your evidence base for your device or whatever it is that you're looking to put research money into. Penny and Hope, the next two on the list, are my research facilitators. They do a brilliant job. They're therapeutically aligned to the 4 divisions. I don't know which ones that they're actually each involved in, but they're good at, and they understand that 4 division structure. And then we have our research governance officers team who work with the facilitators to help you through those processes such as REC approval and MHRA approvals. So in summary, we want to work with you. I think that's the theme running along all of today. I know I certainly felt that with the earlier talks. We have a proven track record of delivery. We're improving that all the time, and we're looking at finding better ways to improve that all the time. So we want to work with you so that we know, so we can show you what we're able to do. We want to get you in the door. We have a huge potential across many therapeutic areas, and of course that critical access to clinical and academic expertise. I would really invite all of you to get in touch and let me know if you have any questions. I won't obviously ask for questions now because I'm cognizant of the time, but certainly we've got cards out front and I'm around for the rest of the day. So if you would like to have a larger conversation, please let me know. I hope to speak with you all again very soon. Thank you.